Now the interesting thing here is we're showing the average price for an individual site, but you have to understand that there's a wide range of types of devices visiting any site. So the interesting thing that you might want to look at is that when you put in device detection, instantly you can see that variation around the average and do with it what you will. So for example, for an advertiser, you might be able to target ads particularly to people with high-end smartphones, or conversely with older smartphones. We actually have the ability to identify the release date of a phone. So if you're looking for someone whose phone is getting old, you might want to be pushing upgrades to them, or the opportunity to upsell your phone. You can identify them. The flip side of that, might also be looking for people who are early adopters, people who have recently purchased the latest smartphone. So that's interesting from an advertising point of view, and also for a shopping site or an e-commerce site, you might display featured items differently if you know the economic profile, the willingness to buy, we'll say, of a user based on his or her smartphone. You might have a different set of featured items for someone with a high economic profile or willingness to buy versus a low economic profile. So it's a very interesting tool and very interesting data. Moving on to some technical elements here, the HTTP2 source. We looked at the browsers. So John, do you want to give a quick overview of what HTTP2 is and some of the elements that you need to make it work?
Yeah, sure. It's HTTP2 is a very technical thing. So I'll try to explain it on a high level. It's sort of well, it is the evolution of the HTTP 1.1 or 1.x version of the HTTP protocol. And there are many improvements made. The most significant one is that it sort of keeps your connection open to the server, so you don't have to connect to the web server every time you have to download a file. And in theory, that will make your site load faster. So it would be good for serving images, for instance, where you typically download multiple images, which is visible on your front page, for example.
Right. Okay. And in terms of adoption, most of our browsers these days are getting toward full support of HTTP2. An interesting element of this is Facebook these days actually has its own browser, and it generates a huge amount of traffic relative to the rest of the internet.